Next, please welcome the co-founder of Near, Illia, who's going to be talking about the role of agents in the user-owned internet.
Okay, great to be here. We had a great introduction by Shriram, and really interesting to dive into sentient. And we had introduction effectively what is user-owned AI, community-owned AI, loyal AI will be. Now, let's talk about how we actually can evolve the internet itself now that we, starting to have these primitives. And the first question is why? The internet is great, everything works, right? We're happy with it. And the reality is, the current state of a lot of pieces of the internet is already broken. So if you go right now to Google, you search for some product or for some service, you're effectively bombarded by ads, right? Google is actually, because of their business model needs to continue growing revenue, they effectively already addressed all of their target user base, and so they need to bombard you with more ads on effectively every query. And even if you, go through this ads, it's not like you're actually getting the product you want, right? It's a massive, number of steps. You need to sign up. You're giving your data to some other company, to some other service. You have no idea who they are. You then need to go through a payment processor that also getting all your data. And then you need to go and monitor all the updates and figure out if they're actually shipping. And I'm in Lisbon, then you need to go through customs and a bunch of stuff. Now, we have AI assistants now, right, which are amazing. They know a lot of things. They are able to interact with us, but they're actually not able to act. They don't actually do anything. They just give you information, right? I want to buy, a road bike, and it gives you some options. And first of all, you don't know if this option is even real, but even if you do, you still need to go to Google, get into ads, and get into the previous steps. Now, we've been trying to address all of this with blockchains, right? We said hey, blockchains is a new way, we're going to do commerce, we do finance, but the problem is we built the biggest speculative engine, which is really important. Speculation is a massive economic driver that actually creates new value, but it creates value on top, some value-add services and products, and you need it to actually bring the mainstream consumers into this ecosystem. And right now, every chain is just fighting for the developers and few users who are here, and throwing massive incentives to them. Right? So we did not actually address the problem. We have the technology, but we don't solve the holistic problem. And so that's actually where Near comes in. We want to be this conduit between AI and blockchain. So there is a new paradigm that's coming. And this paradigm is effectively your AI assistant, which can be embedded into a specific application, into a crypto wallet, into your operating system, which will directly navigate and find services and products and smart contracts and AI agents that they'll be talking to, that will do actual work, do products, etc. Your AI assistant doesn't have a problem of only looking at first 3 links in Google search results. It can look through tens of thousands of options, evaluate them based on your criteria, and figure out which exact product or which exact service or information it needs to actually satisfy your query. Right? So it doesn't have this problem where we're relying on effectively somebody else's matching engine to make a decision. Now, AI assistant can be on your side with your information, decide on many things. And so what we've been building is effectively infrastructure to power this, right? We've built a sharded blockchain that enables all of the transactioning and settlement of interactions. We've been building chain abstraction, which effectively removes the need to think about the blockchain, about the specifics and designs, onboarding users into specified wallets, and even be able to transact easily between chains. And finally, we've been working on user-owned AI to really enable this experience and interconnect things. And we've been working with a lot of partners, including many of the sponsors here, to really build this future, right? Because the alternative is centralized companies which have all of this internally, right? We have data layer, we have infrastructure layer, an application layer, which is really replicating a lot of the centralized internal laboratories like OpenAI and Google doing all of this themselves, right? So huge amount of folks in the ecosystem building this together. Finally, there's been something missing around how do you actually interact and transact in such a way where you can bridge this gap between AI, between Web 2 services and Web 3 services. And so that's where we introduced intents, a new type of a transaction that allows to have information exchange between goods, services, products, agents, users, and effectively, instead of saying like, I want to execute this smart contract or this escrow code, you're saying, I want to achieve this state. I want to get, a road bike in my home. And then somebody else figures out how to actually achieve that and quotes your price and quotes you, what it will take and how long. Now, what's been missing in blockchain is actually a few different pieces, right? Many partners, like if you, delivering road bike or building construction, they require some form of attestation. Who are you? Where you are? And also, in many real-world use cases, you actually don't have immediate settlement, like in blockchain, and so you need a dispute resolution system. You need a way to say, hey, actually, it will arrive in 3 days, and if it doesn't, we will refund you, there's insurance, or you will receive the, for example, you're buying an apartment, there's a system, like there's actually a court you can go to if your apartment is actually not assigned to you in the period, a specified period of time. Similarly, this should work between users, assistants, AI agents in a very transparent way, right? This is the same format. And it effectively abstracts all the blockchains, agents, tokens, kind of smart contracts, effectively in one kind of protocol. So let's look at some examples, right? So how will this look like? So imagine you have on your phone this assistant app. Well, your assistant will actually be proactive. It will go and figure out that, hey, you like to read news in the morning, and will reach out to the newspaper and effectively fetch what is the local news. It will get some of the headlines and the costs of getting a full article. Now, the important piece here, microtransactions have failed with people because people are really don't want to deal with paying fraction of a cent here and fraction of a cent there. Even transaction fees in blockchain are very painful. But an AI can easily manage effectively that in this case paying a fraction of a cent is a better spend of money versus watching an ad in a different case, right? And so it sends a microtransaction and fetches effectively first 3 articles and shows summaries in your recommendation feed as you're scrolling in the morning, right? So imagine this is a TikTok, but actually designed not to get you to spend all the time and watch all the ads, but instead actually inform you, make you smarter, make you wealthier. So that is what kind of user-owned focus is, and making sure that user is more successful at the end. Now, you as a user, for example, want to read the article, and it reaches out for the article, but in this case, it actually decides to request an ad payment method, right? So instead of paying micropayment, you can also have your phone effectively attesting that you watched an ad on your device and use that proof as a payment to effectively fetch a next article, right? So this is somewhat similar to what Brave is doing right now, where ads are actually scored on the user device, right? You get better ads, but then the platform itself can cash out this ad proof payments from the advertiser for newspaper to receive the payment, right? So this is just to show you different methods of effectively interacting between different parties that are supported by this intent framework in the future. Now, a little bit more complex example. I'm originally from Ukraine. When the war started, we started a fundraising initiative, and we had over 100 volunteers effectively managing this, getting fundraising as well as getting requests, processing them, allocating small amounts of money for people who needed help across Ukraine. Right? So you can imagine this is actually being done by a host of agents, which effectively running in the background as you're starting this project, right? Like, hey, let's start this, you have a project, you have lots of agents running on the background, doing different things. You have AI suggesting you different ways to also provide help based on the input and based on conversations people are having. So you have kind of a system that is working for you in different ways and is itself able to process money, it's able to distribute money, it's able to make decisions. And there is a lot of pieces that needs to be there to make sure that it's loyal, that it's not actually doing, that it's not easy to spoof, but this is where a lot of the attestations come in, where you need KYC, for example, to receive payments and other things. Finally, just another example where you want to file taxes and as a company, and so your AI assistant actually goes to a discovery agent, effectively, a search alternative, that will tell you who are different agents who are well suited in different tasks. And so you get a list of agents now that you visualize in a rich interface. It's not going to be a list. It's not going to be text output. And you can decide to send information to one of them, and the agents themselves, in this case, running inside secure enclaves and guarantee you data privacy, guarantee you kind of execution correctly, so your tax information doesn't actually leave effectively your device and a secure enclave of the agent environment. So again, this is just another example of showing how discovery and privacy can work for you in this new future. So we released an alpha version of this. It obviously doesn't have all this functionality yet. It's on chat.near.ai. But it kind of showcases the future, right? This is an AI agent that is able to call other agents. It can create sub-projects effectively and run them. And if we have a video, you can see this in motion. So first of all, it remembers facts about you. So it has local memory per user, which is attached to your Near identity. And so it doesn't matter actually where you log in. If you're going through any wallet or application, if you log in with your Near wallet, it'll have all the same memory. So it is actually user-owned assistant. Now, it serves as a regular assistant as well. It can answer questions. Now, you can go and actually do transactions on chain as well. So in this case, the most popular thing is to launch meme coins. And so you can just launch a meme coin, frogs at a party, and it will not just launch a meme coin itself, it actually will generate a whole website about the meme coin, generate an image, publish the website itself on a different page like this, and then call effectively the pumped and fun alternative called meme coin on Near to actually do this, right? So this is just an example of kind of the way it works. Your AI assistant found an agent that we have in our agent list that does meme coin launching and effectively passed it the request from the user. So you have kind of this ability to have effectively dispatching of different tasks to different specialized agents who can do different work, and you can have many of them working in parallel on different tasks and then combining them back again into this. And so you can obviously, this is an example of asking it about the fact that you asked it to memorize the favorite color, and so you can see how it kind of maintains memory between different sessions and between different places. And I think the meme coin should show up. Yeah, so it showed up in the meme cooking. So this is pre-recorded video. So this was already shown. Like this happened a few days ago. So, and then the other example to just show you it's not just Web3 is to show you how you can integrate e-commerce into this, right? So this is, hey, let's shop for Near Protocol T-shirts. Right, so this actually goes and fetches products from Google Product Services, and something crashed. But so kind of what it does is able to both find products around the internet, and you can go and buy it for the non-supported services, as well as for supported services, it can directly, you can enter the address and pay with your crypto wallet, and able to effectively receive a T-shirt from the stores that support this. So effectively, as stores support this AI kind of agent interface, like a shopper agent is able to go and make an order through that interface. So this is kind of again, just an alpha of how this is going to work. It's an open platform. The source code is open for this. You can build agents, pip install Near AI, and you can start building agents into this to effectively extend functionality. So how will this AI agents cooperate? Well, through this intent system, right? There's effectively a few different steps, right? There's a discovery step, as I showed you, where like which agents are good for these types of intents. Then you're able to negotiate with them. For example, if like I want to buy a road bike, it gives you a few options. So like actually I want something under €1,000. It filters these options. Maybe you have your AI assistant actually generating a rich UI, so you're able to go and like specialize different things. You have when you agreed on something, a settlement process where you actually pay for it, and then you have a dispute resolution. For example, bike didn't arrive after a week. They pay you back money, or some other process kicks in. I guess we're a bot, so AI is taking over. But anyway, this is an example of how the intents themselves work kind of in the crypto space right now. So if you go to near-intents, let's see, the near-intents.org. See if we can get the demo. I guess not. All right, so anyway, so this is just an example of using intents for specifically swapping tokens. You can deposit from any chain. You can use Ethereum wallets. You can use Near wallets. Solana wallets are coming next week. So it's fully chain abstracted. You can use any asset from any of these chains, including Bitcoin. And you can trade between them, and you can withdraw to any other chain, right? So it's effectively the centralized exchange experience, but fully decentralized, powered by intent architecture to kind of showcase what you can do. This front end itself is actually just a demo front end. You can fork it yourself and launch an exchange, decentralized exchange, non-custodial, in about like 5 minutes. So the future of this is effectively using off-chain services, integrating with fiat, integrating with e-commerce, adding more chains as well as integrating with more Web3 applications, kind of this intent framework. And this is kind of the future is really powered by this new protocol, which is way more flexible than traditional transactions because it specifies what you want, not how to do it. So check it out, near-intents for information, and if you want to check out the demo, it's near-intents. So I'll just finish on this thought, right? The future is effectively going to be about rethinking how the current internet works, right? Right now, we're going through Google, we're going through payment processors, so there's a lot of ad revenue, digital marketing, kind of payment processor fees, as well as like all these aggregators that effectively, getting all this attention from users and targeting at different things, right? This is all of the potential revenue that is, at target here to build a new economy that is driven by AI. By kind of user-owned AI specifically to really enable this focus on the user and your trust in this agent and this assistant that it's not trying to like make more money of you and screw you over. So that is what we're targeting. There's a lot of exciting kind of work to be done in the ecosystem. And so thank you very much. Really appreciate being here.